Day 17 of the Radio Free Skaro Fluid Links Advent Calendar. This question comes from Stuffin' Nonsense on Twitter. Question is this: Warren hunting dollies at B&M, Stephen heading to filming locations every weekend, and Chris back at the Fitzroy Tavern. Have you ever thought about upping sticks and moving to the UK?
Oh, of course I have, but I am not.
Yeah, Chris
but not legally able to.
Yeah, Chris
the
has
thing
done.
people don't understand is, as a Canadian, you can't just up stakes and go unless you're a student.
Yeah, but Chris can. He's got.
Yes, you can.
He's got special connections.
And did.
You did. I know you did. You were at the Fitzroy. You were that person at the Fitzroy Tavern, on many occasions. Did you go to many who you went to like the first Tuesday or Thursday of every month, didn't you? At the Fitzroy back in the day?
For the whole time I was there, yeah.
Whole time you were there, man.
And then there was other offshoots and whatnot, and just more casual pub events and such that I would go to whenever possible as well.
I don't even know.
Here's why I'm bitter. My great-grandparents hail from London. My grandparents do not. They hail from Saskatchewan. So under the at least old rules, I don't know if this still handles. If my grandparents had come from England, I could have gone and emigrated to England. But no, it had to be one generation back from that. So thanks for nothing.
But think of it this way: now you have an easy in for a visa for Saskatchewan.
Oh boy, I've never wanted anything less.
Saskatchewan, Warren, your favorite province.
Been to Saskatchewan Alberta. 30-odd years, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Well, they have paved the roads at least. My mom grew up in foster homes and for the longest time didn't know who her parents were, and then found out who her mom was. And then only relatively recently, like in the last few years, did she actually find out who her father was. And it was apparently this sailor from Scotland. He was from the UK, but his name is like so common that it would be near impossible to track which one was down and see where he went to.
James McAvoy.
Yeah, but that will be quite something if we could track down thinking, oh, actually, my grandfather is from Scotland and was in like the UK British Navy or something like that, and then I could move to the UK that way.
Yeah, but not to speak for Erica, but she's already gone through one immigration. What's the word I'm looking for here?
Ordeal.
Ordeal.
Why go through another?
Well, it is the UK. I mean,
but it's also post-Brexit UK. And
that's true.
Vastly less appealing.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I would if I could, I would certainly give it a try. But I just legally can't unless I get a job in the UK, and that seems unlikely. So
I think we had the best of both worlds when we went on our first trip, Warren, because we both had places like we stayed for more or less about a week and a half in London
at friends' places. Yeah,
you stayed at friends' place. We stayed in one sort of like long stay hotel just a couple blocks away from Speedy's, where Sherlock Holmes's place was. And it was cool because it felt like there's a small, tiny little kitchen. There's a bed. It's about all we had room for in that tiny little place. But it was like a actual home. And then we just went off and did stuff. And so I felt like for a week and a half that we were kind of local. Like I have never slipped into feeling at home in a city like I did with London. I don't know if that's what you felt, Chris, when you moved there.
I have with New York for sure.
Yeah, I just felt like this is home. This feels so natural to me, and loved it.
Once I got my bearings and figured out how to get around and whatever.
It did feel natural, but New York, that's for the same reason basically. And this is dumb, but like for basing myself in British TV. Ever since I was a kid, London felt much more at home. And for the same reason, by being a PBS kid, New York absolutely felt the same way. I was just like, oh yeah, this all makes complete sense because this is what I've been looking at and reading about since I was a little kid. So of course it is. I'm not reading about Edmonton as a kid, or Vancouver for that matter.
Right. I loved going. Oddly enough, I didn't go to too many Doctor Who filming locations. I was just sort of lapping up how old and how great everything was, and just like this is just as I imagined it, except better. And then
not in 625 lines.
And then oddly enough, it was sunny the very first day and kind of nice in early November, and then it got very rainy for the rest of the trip. But then I remember thinking, oh wow, well hey, let's see when the Oilers game is up. It's starting at midnight. And that kind of killed my enthusiasm for moving to the UK right then and there.
I mean, you could just stop caring about hockey.
you could.
So this
Not
is
a
like,
problem.
Or there's British hockey leagues. You can start following teams from there.
You could
instead
probably
of,
start
North
playing in
America.
them.
yeah. Oh, I don't know. So that's the eternal dilemma. It's kind of like, when they say to the doctor, before they swept that under the rug a little bit, where they say you can either like save the universe or find out who you are. It's kind of like me. You could live in London. You could literally live in this great city and stuff, but you'd have to never watch hockey again. I'm thinking that's a Sophie's choice for me. So no, that was the ultimate thing. That was basically, so 3 days in, I thought this would be fun to live in London. And then, of course, you realize that you can't actually afford to live in London either. And so
There's that too, yes.
there is that too.